Hello everyone, welcome back to Every the Star Wars Story, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite droids, so let's go and jump right into it. First off, you guys know that I'm a huge droid fanatic, so I'm really looking forward to doing this, and I know I've been talking about making this video for a little bit, so I'm really excited to finally be doing it. But in the number 5 spot, we have Chopper. I love Chopper's personality all throughout Rebels and in the Ahsoka series. It's absolutely awesome. I love this one video. It's like Chopper with subtitles. It's my absolute favorite thing because it's just it's Chopper so much, and it like, oh my word, like he's just like complaining this entire time, and I absolutely love it. Or like with Rebels, whenever he complains about everything he's told to do. And I absolutely love his personality. It's so good. I love it. Dave Filoni did a fantastic job, and I love that even though we can't understand Chopper, whenever we get like Hera or Ezra or whoever is like kind of like going off what he's saying, I love the reactions that we get. Same with R2-D2, who's in the number 4 spot. Like whenever we see C-3PO's reactions to R2-D2 talking, it's honestly super funny. And I know that they had talked about whenever they were making the films that R2-D2 was actually going to have a human voice. But then they changed it to a normal droid voice, which I'm actually kind of happy about because I love the fact they kept C-3PO's reactions to it in there. Like, R2-D2 is super funny because, you know, he's R2-D2. Like, why wouldn't he? But I love his personality. I'm gonna adjust the camera. I love his personality so much because it's so unique. And, like, he doesn't take no for an answer, and he just kind of does his own thing. Which I really like. Like, we see in A New Hope, whenever whenever they take the escape pod, they get to Tatooine, and we see that he goes his own way, and C-3PO goes his own way. Like, we see that R2-D2 is not going to listen to a thing anyone says. He's going to do what he wants. We also see that a lot throughout the Clone Wars, which I really enjoy. Moving on to my number 3 spot. Now, this may be a little early for the character, but I am going to do it. It is, oh crud, what is it? SM-33. I know that we've only seen him in 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew right now, but I love his personality so much that he has made the list at the moment. I know it's super early, but I love his personality. I love whenever we first get to see him come alive and he goes after the kids and he's like, I'm gonna report you to the captain, and then we see Fern be like, I got rid of your captain. I threw him out the airlock. I'm your captain now. And I love, like, he, like, it just immediately, like, it takes him a second, but he does immediately take on to Fern, and he's like, okay, captain, what should I do with the rest of them? Or, like, whenever, with, what's his name? With Wim, whenever he storms out of the, cockpit, after Fern, like, accused him, like, this was all his fault, and technically it was, but whenever he storms out, he's like, it's not my fault. I love how SM-33 is just like, should I throw him out? And he's talking to Fern. Should I throw him out the airlock for insubordination? I love that part. It had me laughing so hard. Or like whenever he comes to rescue the kids on the spaceport they're at, and like that punch that he has, like how he just like I love that. And I know it's super early to do this, but so far SM-33 is one of my favorite characters. It's so cool. I love SM-33 so much, and I love his personality. I was definitely sad whenever they shot him, and I'm, like, really excited to see how that goes over in tonight's episode. I'm really hoping that they rescue SM-33, because I do not want him left there, because of how much I like him at the moment. Okay, my number 2 spot is going to K2SO. I love K2SO. It's so much fun. I love his personality. Like, whenever we see Jin with the blaster, and Cassian was going to take it away from her, but then he decides not to, because she's like, I know how to use it, and he decides not to, and we see K2SO be like, do you know what the chances of her using that are on you? And Cassian's like, I don't want to know, and he's like, they're high. They're very high. Or, like, whenever they're on Jeddah, and Cassian tells him to stay in the ship, we see that like 10 minutes later, we see that he didn't listen to that, and he's like, and Cassian's like, I thought I told you to stay on the ship, and K2SO was like, and I thought that was boring. Or like with Jen, whenever she shoots the droid that looks exactly like him, and K2 is like, you knew that wasn't me before you shot him, right? And Jin's like, yeah, of course. Or like, I love his personality. There are so many good scenes with him. And whenever he died in Rogue One, I was like so sad. I'm like, no. Like I was so sad about that. And that was like, it was cool seeing that his final act was making sure that the vault was locked so that way they would be protected and they could get the Death Star plans, but still, I was like super sad about his death. I was like, but he held his own really good, which I thought was really cool. Seeing how he, like, we see in the beginning of the movie, whenever he's like, well, why does she get a blaster and I don't? We see that he finally gets his ask, he gets a blaster, and he holds himself pretty well, which I thought was really cool. And then moving on to my number one droid, ND5. I absolutely love ND. It's so cool. I love ND so much. He's such a good droid. I love his personality, and I love the way he acts with Kay, like how he just doesn't trust anything she does. Like, there are some parts now in the game, like since they've done a couple updates, where he'll start like doing random conversations with you whenever you're taking off and you're jumping into hyperspace and all that. One of them today, he was talking, and the way he talked was like Nix had jumped in his coat apparently. And he's like, Nix, that's not safe. And Nix just like, I guess, curled up around him, and he's like, fine, I'll try not to crush you. Which I thought was really funny. Or like whenever he was malfunctioning, he was trying his best to act normal, but that didn't go very well. Or like with Kay, whenever Jalen turned the restraining bolt on to turn on Kay, we see that he still, like, he can talk to her, and he's like telling Kay to run. Like, we see that he's grown attached to Kay. And we see that he's telling Kay to run, but we see that she doesn't go through with that, and she does eventually get the restraining bolt off, which I thought was really cool. And I loved... Okay, after Jalen turned on us, I was really happy to see that, like, you know, Jalen was gone not too much longer later, which I know sounds rude, but I was happy to see that Jalen was gone, okay? Mainly because I did feel like he was a tad bit controlling, but, you know, it is what it is. Or, like, whenever they were landing on Akiva for the first time to go get Gadeek, and Jalen's like, you sure you trust this droid smith? And Kay's like, yeah, of course I do. And, like, you could tell in her voice that she was kind of being sarcastic about it. And so was Jalen. And then ND5 started getting sarcastic, and Andy's like, I love it. We're all using sarcasm here. Like, it was so much fun. I love ND5, and it was just so much fun. Now moving on to, I have like one honorable mention, which is BD1. I really enjoy BD1 throughout the games. Whenever we do get to see Cal in real life, I am really excited to see BD1 in real life, because you can't have Cal without BD1. Like, whenever we first got him in the first game, I was so happy. It was so cool to me getting to meet BD1, and he's so much fun. And I love, like, all the jokes that BD1 gives you, throughout the games. And, like, he's super fun for a droid, and I absolutely love him. But yeah, he gets an honorable mention. But yeah, those are my top 5 favorite droids. Let me know in the comments what your guys' are. Everyone has a fantastic day, and as always, God bless. Bye, guys.